lot of games happening. Brazil is playing. Argentina and Messi are playing early morning, about I think by 1:30 in the morning they are playing. But we'll start with Africa today because Africa qualification is happening today all over Africa, and Nigeria is going to be hosting Benin. Not hosting Benin, they are going away to Benin to play Benin in the African qualification. We are hoping that they do. Yesterday we previewed about the players that are in camp, what they are doing, and all that. Today we are going to talk about it a little bit and give our prediction and what we expect Iguavon to be doing in today's day. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and I'm here with the guys in the studio, my A team, to talk about all this that's happening today and give you your predictions for today's game. Okay, at some point we are going to be opening the phone lines again for you to tell us the prediction of Nigeria's game. What you think will happen in that game, you call us and tell us your own prediction. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning and welcome our listeners.
Good morning, also.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, YouTubers. We've started seeing memes already on YouTube, on social media. We're tired of seeing the memes. We just want the result on the field, man.
Okay, let's remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live now at YouTube at Vote FM Sports. When you go there, drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, let's start with the Afcon qualification. I'll give you yesterday's result. Yesterday's result are few goals here and there. Namibia 0, Cameroon 0. It was a surprising result for me because I was thinking that Cameroon will go there and probably play Namibia and beat them maybe 2 or 3 goals. But as someone said, there is no small countries again in Africa. So that game ended 0-0 between Namibia and Cameroon. Liberia winning Togo 1-0, and Chad and Sierra Leone playing a 1-1 draw. Okay, before we talk about today's game, let's talk about the Namibia game. What do you think happened? Do you think that someone called on this show and said that there are no small teams? Even if you look at that game, Namibia had more shots than Cameroon, even though they had 15 shots in total, but 1 shot on target. But Cameroon have more of the possession, 63% of the possession, and 10 shots with 2 shots on target. But at the end of the day, the game ended 0-0.
It was a game that every other football fan out there would have expected that Cameroon were going to be able to come away with all 3 points in that encounter, but clearly the Namibians had something else in plan for them. Yeah, clearly they had other plans. Yeah, it didn't go according to plan. I'm guessing they sat deep and defended for their lives to ensure that they didn't concede any goal, and they were able to withstand the onslaught of the Cameroonian attack. And at the end of the day, when you look at the game like this, it shows you that truly there are no small countries in Africa again, and that even the champion Cameroon and other big shots in African football can still go away from home and still get nothing other than just a draw. Okay. As a best performance in this scenario. I think it's a better case for Cameroon than Namibia, because if Namibia
I think it's more a better case for Namibia. Namibia is a small country.
If Namibia had been able, let's say they have one potent striker up forward and they're able to nick a goal, it would have been disgrace for Cameroon. So, it is what it is.
See, like we say here, it's for African football, it's about physicality and a bit of technique. It's not really much of the technique. The technique side is not even up, let's say, it's not even up for the conversation. It's the physicality, and I think they came into that game to absorb pressure, hit on the physical level, and play a good game. If you look at the game, Cameroon were okay. They were going forward, they controlled the midfield, they controlled the game to the best of their ability. Technicality was there, the intelligence was there. Just that the finishing touch was not there. You get, and the Namibian side absorbed much of the pressure they can absorb. It's like when you say we are here, we do or we die, we do or we don't. We absorb all the pressure they bring at us. And if you see, whenever they get the ball, they are hitting on the break. And there's always 2 players for the Cameroonian side hitting to cut those counter attacks, and ended up playing those shots off target.
Okay, that game ended in a draw. So let's see what they are going to be. If both of them are going to qualify for the Afcon 2025. Okay, let me give the fixtures of today's game. Then we'll talk about some of them. It's Equatorial Guinea versus Algeria. That's 2 p.m. fixtures. Lesotho versus Central African Republic. South Sudan versus Congo. Burundi versus Malawi. Rwanda versus Libya. Niger versus Sudan. Madagascar versus Tunisia. Benin Republic versus Nigeria. We're going to talk about that now. Burkina Faso versus Senegal, Botswana versus Mauritania, Uganda versus South Africa, Mozambique versus Mali. Okay, those ones are tomorrow. Okay, the games ending of today is actually Burkina Faso's game. Burkina Faso versus Senegal is today's game. Others are for tomorrow. Okay, let's talk about today's game. Is Nigeria versus Benin Republic versus Nigeria. We talked about yesterday the preparation, but today Iguavon is going to be leading out his team. I went on social media and I was saying that it's a small game, that we should even play our second 11 and rest the big boys. So what do you make of that? Do you think that we should go out there and play with our full squad and trash them?
I think we should go out there with our full squad. It's mentality like it's a small game, and we should be giving our younger Super Eagles a chance to play. That gets us the result we got in the World Cup qualifiers, which was a loss by a reasonable margin. So I think the mentality should be play your best, and if you want to rest anybody, you do that from the 50th or the 60th minute, and then bring on as many younger players you want to bring on as subs, rather than starting them, and then when you are chasing the game, you now have to bring out the big guns. It doesn't make sense. So play from that strategy. That should be the mindset coming from Eguavola and his guys.
Okay, what do you think now? So 3 at the back, 4 at the back?
Anyone, just win the game.
No,
Because if I go tactically now, they'll say I'm talking gibberish, I'm speaking plenty grammar. Since it's win the game, let's win the game. But if you ask me, 3 at the back has worked for him. You get, because it's a fleet, like what we call it, is tactical flexibility, is a fleet formation. You see 3 at the back now, next thing you're seeing 4 at the back, next thing you're seeing 2 at the back. You're just seeing different formations. You're seeing the drop into mid defense to join why Calvin Bassey goes to left back. Sometimes you're seeing it switch, you're seeing Olainok drop deep, and you see a 4 at the back with Calvin Bassey playing as left back and the other 2 players playing there as well. So for me, it's a fleet formation. It can happen either ways. But I feel like the 3 at the back has worked so far. You get. He continues with the 3 at the back. He has 3 players up from the usual suspects. Maybe Chukwueze is not starting. The Moses Simon, Ademola Lookman, and Victor Osimhen, or perhaps Victor Osimhen, Chukwueze, and Moses Simon as well on the left. So these are the front usual suspects. These are the 3 or perhaps the 6 usual suspects we have in front. Then the midfield can be Frank Onyeka and the rest of them. But yeah, I just know you should have to introduce the guy from Lazio. He's one of those players that when he's sure that the defensive midfielders could do their job, why not allow me to the freedom of creating chances going forward? I'm not going to be like the Alex who would come far deep into my own half to take the passes from the defenders and connect the midfield and still connect the attack. He's not that kind of player. He wants the to connect the defense to midfield, while he takes the ball from the connect the midfield to attack and get the goals.
Okay, Benin Republic has been talking big. They think that they can get result from this game because they are playing at home. What do you think? Do you think that they can get something from this game if they play well? After all, they actually got results from playing Nigeria the other time.
Nigeria should not fall into this mind trick from the Benin Republic where you're walking into a game, you're possibly going to be getting taunts and all these things and all this stuff being circulated on the media, because once you let them get into your head, you're already lost. So they should just focus on themselves, focus on what they are doing, and go out there. Yes, they've suffered a loss in the World Cup qualifiers. Yes, they've redeemed themselves when they beat them convincingly here in Nigeria, and they just need to go back to Benin Republic to make the whole thing a three-peat or a back-to-back result against them. So of course it's there, they have the onus to talk big. They are hosting us again. They are going to have the crowd support, the pool power and all of that. Our own is to just focus on our game, go there and decimate them and come back. Simple.
There's one way to silence a crowd. It's by scoring multiple goals in their home ground.
And not trying to hush them before you've gotten enough.
Make sure the referee has given the goal. Because you can go and celebrate now and hush the fans. And they rule out for offside. Now it becomes a problem for you and you don't get another chance to score another goal. So score the goal, make sure it's given and it is on the scoreboard. Then you can go and shoot the fans and score another goal. You get that way we will know that we are going there to show not just the players, but the fan base as well. Because we've always before the last game, Carotro was on the media saying that he knows where to hurt Nigerians. Before the World Cup qualifiers, he said it and he got a result. It was like he was playing a mind game. Before the last one, he said the same thing, said similar things, and he got what he got because he lost that one. Now this one is back saying the same thing, and the team captain is also saying he's talking big. There's something about press. When you say something that is controversial, the press takes it and makes it the headline of the day. And you ask yourself, if this result goes south, it will come back for us. It's coming back for us, and the captain of the team is coming back to say things that are big, like we know they are star players. We will end up making sure they don't get on the ball as much as possible. Now you're telling us you make sure our star players don't get as much on the ball as possible. Tells us that you're going to be playing a man marking, which means you're going to be a lot physical in that game. And the last time Nigeria had an opponent who was this physical, I think we got the result. So it's not about physicality. You bring physicality to the game, we bring pace. You bring technicality, you bring more technicality to the game. So it's about who is more physical now, because that is what the captain of the team is threatening, and that is a style that Nigerians have not really played in a long time. The last time we saw Nigeria play physical football was against Senegal and against Cameroon.
Okay, we'll start for your strike. If you have enough striking position, you have Boniface, you have the Osimhen, you have so many players in our attackers. Who do you think that should be leading the attack today?
John has said they need to start with the big guns first and get the result. Now I'll say start with the people that want to fight for this team. They want to fight their way into the first team. There are people that want to fight their way into the first team. And trust me, this is the game they play, and you give them the opportunity and they do better than the people that you have as first team starters. But it doesn't mean they will come out. It's just like telling me Rico Lewis will bench Kai Walker in the next 7 games. It's not possible. But sometimes when you give him the opportunity, it looks like it's better.
Honestly, English, Osimhen should be starting.
No, not Osimhen, not Boniface.
Yes, that's the thing now.
That is the 2 players you have up front now that are the best in the world right now. Give Sadiq Umar his chance.
Who is that?
Sadiq Umar.
Who is that?
He plays in La Liga.
Let's start with Osimhen.
Please, Osimhen up front.
Or Boniface, even though Boniface have not been scoring for Nigeria, but Osimhen is here, so Osimhen should be starting. Let's trash them. It's been a long time we are seeing
it should be a trashing. Thank you. I like that.
When was the last time you saw an African team trash person 5-0?
Yesterday we are talking about the talent we have in our squad. Look at our squad. Look at the firepower we have there. We should be trashing teams 5-0. In fact, we should even be trashing Spain. Play Spain and trash them 5-0. What are you laughing about?
Oh my God, man.
Yes, play Argentina.
Oh man.
Play Argentina and trash Argentina.
No.
We have the power to do it.
I think that was the time Ahmed Musa scored a hat-trick in the World Cup against Argentina, and everybody felt
compare the squad we have then and we have now. What are you talking about? You have bigger
the squad you had then. We're not TikTokers.
It doesn't matter. But
the squad you had then were not TikTokers. They come to the field, they do their work. You have a Mikel Obi who is serious-minded. They have many players. They have a JJ that will disgrace.
If the players we have now can do the job and TikTok, but let them TikTok can do the job.
It's fun. It's fun. What do you mean TikTokers? Won't they have fun?
I'm just saying, if they don't let the TikTok part of their life take away the intelligent style of play on the pitch, it's just what I'm saying.
Okay, let's see what Nigeria is going to be doing. Nigeria is playing Benin. That game happened 8 p.m. Nigerian time. So let's watch the game. If we watch the game, let's see what Nigeria will be doing. But I feel that Nigeria should be winning that game comfortably because of the kind of firepower we have in our squad. We should be winning games and games and games. So let's see what they are going to be doing for today. Okay, we have some comments about these Nigerian games. Probably you have to open a phone line after this Afcon so that we'll know give us your thoughts. Call us and tell us what your prediction for today's game, because Nigeria is playing today, so we need to hear what your thoughts about that game will be. Okay, and Athletes will be on our YouTube is saying 3-4-3 for Nigeria. 3 at the back, 4. Okay, I think he's trying to practice Amorim style.
That was what they've been playing like.
I understand that. So let's see what they are going to be doing. He's also saying Benin Republic will suffer today. 3-0 for Nigeria.
Again, back-to-back 3-0.
3-0. Say nothing as Africa can withstand the quality of the Nigerian Super Eagles. No, so Nigerian squad today is fire. Okay, let's see on Nigeria's game today. Okay, let's move back to other African games happening today. We'll talk about a few of them. Then we'll move to Europe because England are playing today. Okay, let's talk about Burkina Faso versus Senegal. No, Senegal has been for the past maybe 6 years. They have reached the semi-finals of they've won the Afcon. They reached the semi-finals twice. In the last edition, they reached the semi-finals. They have been doing when they have been building. But in this game, what do you think of it? They are going away to Burkina Faso. Do you think they should be able to win it? If you look at their squad, I think they have Jackson. Jackson is leading their line. So Michael Jackson is leading. Why are you laughing? He's a superstar for Chelsea. And we are
Oh my
expecting him to score
God.
goals for Senegal.
Oh
So,
my
but in that
days.
game, they are going to, and they still have money there. They are going to.
They have other intelligent strikers that could score goals.
Jackson is starting for them, so let's leave that
Definitely,
one.
he's not the one scoring the goals.
But he's going
There
to
are other
start.
players that are scoring the goals that people don't really give credit
What?
to.
Why do you hate this
I
young
don't
man?
hate the word hate is heavy now, please. The word hate is heavy. When you put up the numbers, we see the numbers. The same thing.
He's
same
been putting
thing
up
the
numbers.
same thing I said about the other guy across Manchester. When you put up the numbers, we know, we see it. When you put up the performance, we know, we see it. You get Mikel Obi has created, like people say, has created something else in Jackson because he's trying to banter back at Mikel Obi. Now, the only way to banter back at a legend of the club and of Africa in the Premier League, not just the club of Chelsea, a Premier League African legend. When you say African legends in the Premier League, you call Mikel Obi in that number. So when you're talking about players who's played in the Premier League all the way from Africa and has won trophies with the Premier League and are maybe on their way to the Hall of Fame, you call Mikel Obi's name. Now, if you want to banter him, the only way you can banter him is get up the numbers, and perhaps he's doing that.
Which is getting the numbers.
He's-
So,
he's
but
becoming-
he's
he's
leading
not-
the
yeah.
line against Burkina Faso. Do you think that they can be winning this? They should be winning
No,
this game.
normally they should be winning the game against Burkina Faso. They should be winning. Burkina Faso has always been. Like I say, if you bring more physicality into it, Senegal has the physicality, they have the technicality, they have the pace. You get. I won't take away that from that. Burkina Faso has the physicality, they have the pace, but the technicality was missing. Now, if they can sit deep and absorb pressure like the way Namibia did against Cameroon, they might
Get something.
they might get something. You get. They might get just a 1-0 lose, and that's okay for them. But if they do well, they might get a 0-0 draw or perhaps get a goal. And getting a goal is like winning the World Cup for them against Senegal, because this is one of the biggest. If you're talking about African ranking, they have Senegal is part of the top 10.
Okay, John. Let's get your prediction for that game. I want you to analyze the Angola versus Ghana, because Ghana are a team that have not really been playing well, even though they are the heavyweights of Africa. But first, let's get your prediction for Burkina Faso and Senegal. What is your prediction for that game?
Man, I'm going to go Senegal.
Everybody's going for Senegal. John,
Scoreline.
give us scoreline. Give us scoreline.
2-1.
2-1. Okay.
You see, person wey score one don't win. Person wey score one don't win. 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. Okay, John, what do you make of Angola and Ghana? Ghana has not been playing well, even in World Cup qualifying, even in Nations Cup qualifying. If you look at the way they are playing, Partey is not around because of injury. They are trying to manage injury, even though the coach came out in the media to say that he decided not to call Partey to the squad. He is the captain, but he decided not to call him. But generally, Ghana have not really been done well, even though us Nigeria is like I won't call it, when it comes to football, they are our enemy, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's that they are friends and enemies at the same
Arch
time.
rivals.
Arch
Una
rivals.
Ghana Jollof don't think about the
Yes.
baby.
But sometimes when they lose, we are kind of happy.
Ghana jollof with antelope meat.
But if you look at that game, what do you make of? What do you think will happen in that game?
You know, it's a game that Ghana are in a point now where they deserve to get a win. I feel like they've deserved to get a win right now because they've been on a terrible patch of results. And like Nonso said, you only need one game to turn things around. And you know, out of the blues, here comes Angola, and Angola is a team that Ghana should be beating. They should be beating. Now, this is just off their rankings and off previous encounters with Ghana. I don't think Angola has ever successfully beaten these guys clearly without, you know, any support from the referee or officiating.
They actually need to win this game. But if you look at their group, they have just 2 points out of 4 games.
And that's what I'm saying. That
if they don't win this game, they might not qualify for the Afcon list, which is quite strange.
That's what I'm saying, that everything is lining up to them going out there and winning this match, because they could crash out of qualifying for the Afcons. They're already in a bad place mentally if you go and look at the string of games they've had. So they need to win this one. And
they lost one, drew 2, and
yes,
lost another one. 4 games,
so
2 losses,
points.
and just 2 points. It's very poor for a team like Ghana. Have Kudus.
Yeah.
Kudus and Partey.
Kudus save.
Imagine.
That is now the anthem. Kudus don't save, because that's Kudi and us. Kudus does not save us, because now I feel like Kudus is not giving enough to the team. Now he's one of when you see the Ghana sheet come out, you say star boy, but on the field, I think I've said this before and I'll say it again. The numbers of dribbles he have and the numbers of shots he takes, they don't tally. It's like Anthony, spin and spin and spin. You don't create enough chances for the opposite, for your teammates to score. It becomes a problem for the general team, because no matter how you spin, no matter how you dribble or create chances, let the ball go to somebody else. The more the ball rolls around, the more chances you have on scoring goals. But you dribble past 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next thing you're back on your midfield. You're not even in your position. You're not even anywhere close to the goalkeeper. And when you play it, you're all actually playing off target, or perhaps you're passing to the wrong. Sometimes that's why the likes of JJ Okochas and the rest of them, you have to sing them praises. Even the likes of currently Samuel Chukwueze, you sing them praises because when they dribble past two defenders. But I think the former coach of Villarreal used to say it. He said, "I don't usually introduce Chukwueze in a game when we are winning, because he goes and he does what we call what everybody loves to see, but it's not what we the coaches, we who have the fun for the game, who have the love for the game, who know how to instruct players. It's not what we want to see. We want to see
it's not a praise.
See, no, we want to see you cause problem among defenders, and we want to see you create chances. So when you get in there, your first two touches, your defender is taking a yellow card.
Yeah, but if you
The
look,
second
if you look
touch,
at
the second touch, you're getting the
performances
shot.
for AC Milan, he creates a lot of
That's what I'm
chances
saying.
for
He
them.
create, that's after the coach of Villarreal has changed his mindset. Now he creates chances. He passes the ball more often in the opposition's final third, and that is something Kudus should learn from. You get those numbers should, no matter how they say, your dribbles number are adding up. Your number of dribbles go up. The shots on target you play go up. The assists you make should go up as well. So that when they say, he's a fleet-footed attacker like Saint Maximin, you say, okay, he still scores goals. But for Kudus, he's not scoring the goals. We're just seeing the dribble, successful dribble, 7 out of 8, and yet your team is losing. Then all those dribbles is just to waste.
It depends. Everybody has his own style of play, but let's see. They are in Group F. After 4 games, they have only 2 points. Surprisingly, in that group, Angola is top with 4 games, 4 wins, 12 points. Even Sudan is second, has 7 points. Imagine.
And Ghana
no fees.
Sudan we don't know where fees dey.
I swear. And Ghana cannot even win games. But let's see what happens with Ghana. They are playing today. We have some comments again. Let's move to our YouTube to talk about some of the comments here. And Anacletus is essentially saying, John, Ghana does not deserve any win in this competition. Angola beat them at the first leg in Ghana. Angola will beat them again and again. Oh, okay. Leo, welcome to the show. Emmanuel Leo is saying, good morning, guys. In as much as I am happy that Ghana they lose, but it's a loss for African football, because these guys like Nigeria also boast of superstars that have refused to turn up for their country for a while. So let's see what is going to happen. They have stars. They have so many stars in that sport. They should actually be winning games, but as you see, they are not winning games. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Gabon versus Morocco is happening today. Morocco are another team that is doing well in Africa. They have been building as Nonso used to talk about. They have been building gradually. What do you make of that game, Nonso?
Well, good game for Morocco. Gabon has always been one of those sides that would come
just first and second in the league, on their table.
Just come and perform qualifiers, qualify either ways. No matter how you do, just qualify for the Afcon, play your group stage and go home. So definitely you see them qualify for this next Afcon. You see them play the next Afcon. But it's the result they get in this game now. For this game, I think Morocco is one of those teams you should, whenever they see them coming out of the tunnel, you start to fear, because they have the players to blow you away. They have superstars across the world. They have players to blow you away. So I just feel like this is a game Morocco should come in and not expect anything less than a win.
Okay, let's get a question for that game.
Morocco 4-0.
Hey.
Yes. I know carry water for mouth talker. Morocco 4-0. They don't do me like Cameroon yesterday. Morocco 4-0.
Okay, John.
3-0 Morocco.
Morocco to win that game.
What's the difference between 3 and 4?
Okay, let me. I'll open the phone line before I move over to Europe. Let's open the phone line. Call us and tell us what your prediction for Nigeria and Benin game today. That game is happening 8 p.m. Call us and tell us your own prediction for that game. Okay, let's move over to Europe. National League is happening today, so there are games happening.
International friendly is happening today.
Yes, you can call it international friendly. You can call it anything you want to go, but it's still a big game. But for today, I'll give you the main fixtures for today. Is Greece is playing England. You know, England lost the other game when they played Greece, but they are playing today again. They are hosting England. Greece is hosting England. France versus Israel, good game. Belgium versus Italy, another good game. Slovenia versus Norway, and that's the big games we have for today. Okay, let's talk about the English team. They have been complaining about injury, players withdrawing from the Afcon. Sorry, from their national team. About 8 players. Palmer withdrew. Saka withdrew, Rice withdrew, a whole lot of players withdrew. We are talking about the yesterday on our podcast. If players are doing it willingly, probably they are dodging international football because of heavy games. But they played in the weekend. Suddenly, they are not fit to play for their country. So I don't know how that happens. But before we go into that, let's take calls and know your thoughts about the Nigerian game that's happening today. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, Manchester. What do you think about Nigeria versus Benin game today?
Nigeria, they have a very good team. But my problem is that since they decided not to qualify for World Cup, I'm no longer happy with them. So Nigeria is one of the best teams in Africa. When you talk about World Cup, Nigeria is supposed to be there. But you can see they are not there. And I'm not happy with that team because they messed up. The only thing I want you to know is that in terms of African Cup of Nations, Nigeria will qualify.
Okay. But
the World Cup
is the problem.
I'm not happy with them.
Okay.
So, in terms of Manchester United, what is going on?
Okay, well, he has a morning about right, so I don't think he has started the first training. But once there is an update for Manchester United, we'll let you guys know.
John, which jersey are you wearing?
That's a Newcastle jersey.
Join us on YouTube. Join us on YouTube. Join us on YouTube and see it.
I love your jersey, Manchester United. I saw your jersey. Very Manchester United. Also, that's Man City jersey. Yeah, sorry, Barcelona jersey you are wearing. Are you a Barcelona fan?
For now, they are the winning team.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Tomorrow.
But I love that.
Okay.
And you.
See, it's not about the jersey I wear. If my team win, I wear their jersey. If my team does not win,
thank you.
I look for a team that is winning. And as it stands now, West Ham is not winning games. Chelsea, I can't go to London. I can't go to the other side of London. And until Nigeria wins, I'll wear my Nigerian jersey.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, okay, we can't hear you very well. You can call us 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us your prediction for Nigeria's game today. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Friday. What is your prediction for today's game? Say again.
Hello?
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said Nigeria will win the match.
Okay, Nigeria to win 2-0. Okay.
Manchester United. We're not talking about England now.
International football. Okay. Thank you very much. 0706 048 5853. Tell us your prediction for Nigeria's games today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, guys in the studio.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, what is your prediction for today's game?
First of all, please want to know whether Sadiq Umar has arrived in the camp.
Okay, I'll give you an update about that, but give us a prediction about today's game first.
Okay, my prediction is Nigeria to win by 3-1.
Nigeria to win by 3 goals. Everybody will support Nigeria. Okay, thank you very much.
3-1.
Why will I not support Manchester United party to predict against that team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Keep your calls calling in. So before we move over to Europe, let's just take the calls before we move over proper to Europe and see what is happening there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please. Okay, Ike, what is your prediction for today's game?
This match, I'll give it to Nigeria.
Okay.
Because they are me now. Even the World Cup, they had last caller talking of Nigeria not going to World Cup. I think believe that they will be there. They will qualify.
Okay.
They qualify because if they win all their matches, I think 10 or 12 matches,
Yes, they will qualify. Yes.
They will be there. They will surprise people because we have everything. The players, they don't know, we have a good players. Not the reason why only that the coach with the NFF they put Nigeria and when Nigeria go where I don't know.
Oh.
Top players, Nigeria have a good players. Well, the people where they wear jersey of a club there for relegation, red devil, still they wear red and they show that you are in danger. I'm sorry for you for wearing. I mean, it's off John. No Senegal they wear their jersey. Don't wear a club that is already relegation. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, Nigeria. Okay, everybody is supporting Nigeria. Let's see what Nigeria is going to do for today's game. Nigeria is going to play today by 8 p.m. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Okay, I am Mr. Joseph.
Okay.
I'm calling from Bokwa. In
Okay.
Ogoja local government.
Ogoja local government. Okay. What is your prediction for Nigeria's games today?
Nigeria will win 2-0.
Nigeria to win 2-0. Okay.
Yes, Nigeria will win Benin Republic by 2-0.
All
But
right.
it's like I am hearing a voice of Auntie Malaika there.
No. She is not
It's
here.
not her voice.
No,
it's not.
she's not here. Okay. Malika conversation happens 8 p.m. 7 p.m. every day. So you can call and join Malika for comfort zone. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you all in the studio. Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, my name is Chimosco, member representing Jere constituency.
Okay. What is your prediction for Nigeria's game today?
Let me tell you, Super Eagles will play 1-1 draw against Benin Republic.
You are our first caller that is not predicting Nigeria win today.
You don't get faith.
They will play 1-1 draw. Let me tell you, Benin Republic need that match. They need a match seriously, badly, because they're second on the table. So I don't see Super Eagles beat them back to back.
Oh.
And if you watch that match against the one Nigeria beat them 3-0, they lost it in the final. They lost concentration to lose that match. But they were playing well throughout 20 minutes. You know, they all lost it. They lost concentration before the game now. They go and start coming that match.
Okay.
So I don't see them losing concentration in today's game. I see that match. They're not ready to lose that match for Super Eagles. That match is going to end in 1-1 draw. So I feel that Super Eagles will qualify when they come to Nigeria here in New York on Monday.
Yes.
That's a match that can qualify them. But today, I don't see them qualifying today.
Okay.
Take my word to the back and borrow money.
All right, thank you. I'll try
Okay,
it.
now.
I'll just take this one to
Just tell you, this
one
way
bank.
talk now.
When they give me money because I need
Now
money
World Bank
too.
will not go.
Now
No
World
go
Bank I
any
go
no
go.
go any Nigerian bank. They go beat you. Go World Bank.
Okay, let's take this final call before we move over to Europe. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please step away from your radio set. Move away from your radio set, please.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, good morning.
Good
Name and
morning.
location, please.
It's Manchester United calling back.
Oh.
I'm not happy with these Chelsea fans. I'm just
Today,
want to know
come
about
on. Today is not about Chelsea. Today is not about Chelsea. Let's focus on Nigerian Super Eagles. Go back tomorrow. Next week, we'll talk about
see one
Chelsea.
thing on
Okay?
Monday we'll just open the floor for you guys.
Manchester United alone. Focus on what we are talking. Did I mention Chelsea?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Alone, please.
All right.
In terms of what they said in terms of Manchester, Manchester, Nigeria qualifying for World Cup. Far.
Nigeria is not qualifying.
They are not going anywhere for World Cup. But in terms of Nations Cup, they will beat these guys 2-1.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay,
He
let's
wanted
go
to make
back.
his contribution for the Nigerian game. He said you should leave man here alone. This is international break.
It's international break, please. Okay, let's move over to Europe and let's start with the English game. England is playing Greece away, but the issue here is that their captain Harry Kane has been talking to the press that he's saying that he's not happy that players are withdrawing from the national team. The Rice withdrew, Arnold Trent withdrew, Saka withdrew, Cole Palmer, Grealish, Phil Foden all withdrew from the squad. So he is like
Even
saying,
the likes of Ramsdale.
it is like I think Ramsdale is actually injured because there's no reason for Ramsdale to actually pull out. But what do you make of this thing? I feel that these players are trying to avoid games.
Don't you think it's funny how the person who is complaining is the only player in a league that has Christmas break, and he's the one complaining? if you were in the Premier League playing 2-4-7, playing on
he
the
was in the
schedule.
Premier League.
No.
He was in the Premier League.
Let's not go
And
there.
he was
Let's not
playing
go
games.
there.
He wasn't pulling out.
He has the luxury of having
A
Christmas break.
Just
two
for
or
1
three
year.
full weeks this year.
Eh.
2 or 3 full weeks this year. And isn't it pretty how he's the one coming up to talk about not having people drawing back and all this? For me, it's hypocritical. Because you are playing in a league where you have 2-3 weeks in Christmas break. You get to be with your family, and you can't say the same for these players, and you want them to risk. Okay, how do you now justify the likes of what's his name now, Martin Odegaard, who took an injury in the international game, went away for the better part of 1 month, and is back, just played 1 match, and you want him to go back and risk another knock in the international. For me, I think it's unfair. And Harry Kane has not earned the right to say this thing he said yesterday, because he's not playing in the league. If it's somebody that's playing in the Premier League this season that has the same calendar these people have, and he's saying this, is a better perspective coming from that person than somebody who is staying in another league and wants to dictate how local talent in England should play for their national team.
This player was the captain of national team before he was even given the offer to go to Bayern Munich. It's just 1 season he played in Bayern Munich. Just 1 season. And he has earned the right because he's the captain of the side.
He hasn't earned that right.
He has bled for the nation. He has gone to 2 Euros finals.
All these players are absent have bled for the nations. Nothing you want to tell me.
You can't tell me that Phil Foden has been there for the past 5 years.
Phil Foden has been there for the better part of 3 seasons.
He has been there for 3 years. 2 years. You can't tell me he has been there. And this one has been there since 2018 and before 2018.
Irrespective.
See, you don't take away the credit of a player who has worked.
It's not about credit. It's about empathy for the people who are going through what they are going through in their league.
John, just 1 season. If you listen to what he said abruptly, if you listen to what he said without this sentiment, now you see that he was giving concerns to players who are injured. They have the right to call that they are not going to be going to international break. They have the right because you picked up a knock. The likes of Odegaard picked up a knock. The likes of picked up a knock recently. Saka came back, played 3 or 4 games. One of those games was off the bench. Then the next 2 games he started for Arsenal. Now he understands that 2 games is not enough to be sure of how long you can stay fit, and you need to manage these injuries. We understand these players that they've been on injuries. They are coming back from injuries. They have to manage these players. It's not up to the coach of the national team to say, okay, fine, you play 10 minutes for me in the game, you play 5 minutes for me in the game, you play 60 minutes for me in the game. I think
it makes sense that way.
Now, it makes sense that way as a sub. But if you just come out and say,
what's the guarantee that they're going to play 30 minutes?
This list came out about 2 weeks ago.
What's the guarantee? And these are managers. This is the same
in the last game,
calls up players that are not fit and play them irrespective of them not being fit. What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee that when they join that camp, they are not going to pick up another knock in training? Is this the first time we are having a competition or a friendly where players you are not playing on the pitch, you are warming up, you are training with the national team, and you pick up a knock? Yes or no? Has it not happened?
It has happened not just in the national team, it has happened in the club training as well.
And
players
that's
pick
what
up
I'm
knock
saying.
in training.
That's what I'm saying.
Just even for their
that's what I'm saying.
Don't say it happens in the national team.
A club that is managing players' fitness to give you their asset that they are paying, that they are the one that cover the treatment, that they are the one that cover other things that concern the player, to give you up their star player. Look at the interview Guardiola made. You are calling up a Grealish that is not fit to play, that hasn't played for City in the past how many weeks, and Baba declined to come forth. And then next thing you have your captain on the media talking about people not coming for people withdrawing from the national team, people withdrawing from playing for England. For me, it doesn't make any sense.
Until you understand it's an opinion game. Everybody has the right to their opinion. He went out there and he stated the obvious. You want to pull out early. So I will know that who is the person who's listening to you. We can submit a list for the person. You submit a list 2 weeks before the break. The list comes out 2 weeks before the break. And a week, just 3 days or a weekend before the break, you're telling me you're not available for it. It's like, I've given you a notice 2 weeks ago. You tell me a week before, after a week, that, see, my name is on that list, I won't be available. They had the whole of last weekend to have done that. Not this weekend. You get they had. I would say trend picked up the knock, and not just in this game, in the last game, because you see that in the last 3 games they've been subbing off Trent. In the 60th, in the 70th, and they take him off and they bring in a Joe Gomez. Because Ancelotti is trying to manage his injuries. Now we understand that part. For the past 3 games, they've been taken off in the 60th and 70th minute of the game for Liverpool. Now in this game, he's taken off again, and now the English team says, "Oh, you're going to play." And the club says no, he can't go, because Ancelotti said that he would be surprised, but of course he's been managing an injury. He's been managing the injury for the past 3 weeks. He would be surprised if he plays for England, and he has to call the coach and say, "Okay, see, I picked up this last weekend. I was also being subbed off, which means I can't go on to play like this for every match. I'll continue to be subbed off in the 60th minute of the game." Now it's understandable that players who are suffering from knocks can be taken off, but if you're going to be taken off the team list, give a prayer notice earlier enough.
Isn't it oblivious that the FA can call up random players without giving further look into who is fit and who is available, who is carrying a knock? You just call up names and you expect them to appear in camp like soldier ants and then go on and go and play for you. Isn't it oblivious? You have the medical team there at the national side. You have the full backroom staff there at the national side. I'm sure you should be able to keep tabs on your national team players that you are supposed to be relying on. And it's not like England is bereft of talent that you can call up people to replace them. Within a hair's breadth, you have people showing up to come and play for the national team. So I do not like the look of Harry Kane. You know, it's what we see happen when you buy a Benz brand new. You cannot come out and say people who don't show up to work on time because they are taking the public transport to come to work, they don't have commitment because you bought brands new. That's a mirror image of what Harry Kane is doing.
He's the captain.
It's a mirror image of what he's doing. You are not showing empathy to the other people on that team who may not have that luxury you have at Germany.
Regardless of what you think, he has seen a pattern form even when he was still playing in the Tottenham side. He was still playing in the Premier League. He saw the pattern forming and didn't say anything about it.
Is it not the same pattern he benefited from while he was still in England? Yes.
He was still playing in national
team. It's still the same pattern he benefited from while playing in that English setup.
He played for the English national team.
Okay.
Why there was still future consideration?
It's still the same pattern he took part in. So I don't see why Porto should be coming to the press to call Port black.
Well, if you look at that game, Harry Kane I think he's the captain. He was asked a question and he gave his own opinion.
It's his opinion, man.
I think his opinion is the captain. He has the right to say those things he said. But at the end of the day, they have to manage these players, manage their expectation for England. Okay, but even Tuchel has started talking about it already. He is going to be the English coach from January next year. He has started to complain about players, the amount of players withdrawing in one. Imagine you just call on 5 players and withdrew at the same time. I think it spoils the plan of the coach. But let's see what England is going to be doing with this game and the players are available. They called up a couple of players to replace them. Okay, let's get your prediction for this game. Greece and England. Who wins?
Draw.
It's a draw game.
England will still go on and win the game.
England will win the game.
He sends a clear cut. He sends a clear loud message.
I disagree. They couldn't win in the first match. What's the difference in this match without the key players that they have now?
They were texting with experiments. Even the players that you think, even the players you think that are pulling out will still play from the bench.
Okay, let's see. Let's go over to the next game. The next game is France and Israel. You know, we talked about yesterday. Him not calling up Mbappe, the coach, the shop not calling up Mbappe to the squad, that he decided not to call up Mbappe because of whatever reason he has, because the rumors is that he called him up last time, he decided not to come, but this time the coach decided not to call him, even though he wanted to come. So it's a clash of ego happening there, but they are playing Israel. Israel is not really a big nation like that. We are expecting France to be trashing them.
Yeah, sure, we're expecting France to be trashing them, and we can end up seeing a different result because Israelis have a talent, you get. But the French national team, for not calling Mbappe up, I support him 100% because because it's about the perspective we the listeners, we the fan base, we the people see. We see a perspective where a guy says, "I've told my boy I won't come to work. He can't do without me." Now my boy is trying to respond in a way that, see, I made it up to this level without you. I'll continue to make it. I've been a player. I've won the World Cup as a player. I've won it as a coach. I have done different things for this country. I'll continue to go on to do different things for the country with or without you. So it's a matter of who is the Oga in this conversation. And I think for us, the fan base, we need to make that. We need to be clear on who the Oga is. And if Didier gets a result in this game, then he feels like, yes, he's the Oga, because he went to the World Cup without the Karim Benzema's who were on top form.
Isn't it funny how he can't be the Oga until he wins this match without Mbappe? That tells you who
No,
your
no,
guy
see,
is.
I think he's still.
That tells
See,
you who
it's
your
still-
guy
it's
is.
It's still your guy, but when
Why
you see, wait,
why
see,
should the perspective be winning this game without Mbappe to
You
be your
will
guy?
see if
That
you
means
know-
that Mbappe is your guy without playing this match.
you
Simple and
look
short.
at it now. If you go into this game and you get a draw, people see different things. Yeah, people see different things. People
I
observe
let them
different
see
things.
and say different
You
things,
will
but the
know-
bottom line
you know
is
he is
if
the
that's
coach,
the mentality
and
to
this
win
is-
this
this
match
is-
to prove you are the boss, then bro, you are not the boss in the
This
first place.
is the Sham who went to the World Cup with the Kobas and the rest of Matuidi, and we said, oh, this is the best midfield combination you will ever have. Matuidi, Koba, and Kante, and they won the World Cup. Up front, there was no Benzema, there was no
But there was an Mbappe.
there was no Frank
Yes or
Ribéry.
no?
There was a Oliver Giroud and Mbappe, and they went on to win the World Cups that year in 2018. And fast forward 4 years later,
And I think if
there
I
was no
remember,
Popoba, there was
he
no Matuidi, and they still went on to go to the finals.
If I remember that 2018 World Cup, he was pressured by the France prince to actually bring out Benzema, but he refused, saying that Giroud has played throughout the
Qualification that he
and
needs to be playing.
he needs to
And
play.
all of a sudden, Giroud does not have a shot on target, and almost everybody almost killed him.
But he won the World Cup.
And he won the World Cup without Giroud not having a shot on target through the World Cups.
Okay.
So it's a coach that have proven himself so far.
Okay, let's get a prediction for that game. France and Israel. Who wins?
Draw.
For. Yeah.
He said, "Bro, I didn't say that."
What did he say?
France is going to just win this match with full confidence and their full
I
chest.
think they are about to realize the lack of Mbappe, what it does to the team.
Okay.
Okay, let's see,
That was
let's
the same
see.
thing we said about Frank Ribéry and Benzema in 2018,
And we saw it happen too.
and they won the World Cup.
Go and subtract Mbappe's goals and assists from that World Cup and tell me where they finish.
Go and subtract Olivier
Go
Giroud's
and do
goal.
that. Just go do that in that World
His
Cup
goals-
and tell me where
his
they
goals-
finish.
His
Go
goals.
and do that for the last World Cup too when they came to the finals and
See-
tell me where they finished. Simple and short.
His
You
goals-
can pontificate all you want about a player's importance in a side. You can pontificate all you want about the manager's role in the side. But at the end of the day, when you strip everything down to the data, you see that one particular player's impact on that team deliver the result you are seeing at the end of the season. Simple.
John, I ask you a question. The goals he scored in the World Cup, 2018 World Cup, who created those chances? Was Pogba and Olivier Giroud. The workhorses doing the dirty works and all of that, doing the runarounds were
I didn't even see all this Mbappe
No.
thing. I didn't even see him in these Euros that passed.
N'Golo Kante and Matuidi were doing the dirty work in World Cup. While Pogba was busy creating the chances, Pogba, Griezmann and Olivier Giroud.
And how many
and
chances
assists.
were missed without Mbappe?
Assists.
How many
Assists by
chances were
Olivier Giroud.
converted without him? Go.
Okay,
you
fine.
want
You are going to the World Cup.
go
Fine, let's
look
leave
at
the World
the
Cup.
chances
Let's
missed
come down.
without him. Simple
Let's
and
come down
short.
to the most recent one.
We are talking about the World Cup,
In
right?
2018,
Go
yes, we're talking about the
go
World
look
Cup.
at the chances missed without him up front, and you will see the importance of having a striker with that
Which
finishing
of the World Cup are you
ability
talking about?
in that cup.
You're talking about
Go look
2022
at them.
World Cup.
Look at the two World Cups. Look at the chances
2022
missed
World Cup,
without
they
him.
didn't score. I think they
Go
didn't score
look
much
at them
goals.
without him.
They didn't score much goals. They didn't score much goals until the finals.
Well, depending
Wow.
depending on how you want to see it, because if you want to, if you say Mbappe is important, it's not important. He is important, but the truth is that if you build your team well, one player, it true, can make a tree. He can help
One
make a
player
tree.
cannot
but
make any
Go and
tree.
check
But-
PSG now. Our market.
They are on top of
Yes.
the league.
They are,
Go
top,
check our market.
they are on top of their league.
Go and look at their results in the Champions League. Our market.
They are on top of their league. Even when they bought, if you want to talk about the result in the Champions League, they bought the best players in the world. There was a time there was a Sergio Ramos in defense, in support with what's it called, the Marquinhos and all of that in defense. Up front, you had the Messi, Neymar, and the Kylian Mbappe. They don't reach final. Even when they reach, they know. So what are you saying? They had the stars.
Go
Before-
and
before
look
the
at
stars
the
came in-
stats. Simple and
Before
short.
the
That's all
stars,
you need.
before the
That's all I'm
stars
going
came
to
in,
say. Go
you
look at
see,
the stats.
when
man,
a team is
and then we
facing,
can have a
only you
conversation.
said if a team is facing rebuild, you don't expect them to go in and do wonders. They are facing a rebuild. They've sold off all the star players. Gradually, they're letting off all the star players go one by one. They've let off Messi and Neymar go. Now they've let off Mbappe. Perhaps he's left the club. So Ramos the same thing. Every of these players are leaving one by one. They will have to build. They will have to take their time to build themselves back to where they used to be.
The coach decided not to bring in Mbappe. Whether he is right or not, it doesn't matter. He can decide not to call him to the World Cup. He still is right to do it, and I don't think he has earned the right. Winning that World Cup and reaching the two finals of Euros has given him the right to do something like that. You cannot even blame him. So if he decides not to call Mbappe up again till they finish the
Mbappe
World
should
Cup,
enjoy his rest.
till
Simple
the
and
end
short.
of his career, he's still in his right. So let's see what happens in that game. Another big game happened in the Uefa National League today is Belgium and Italy. Belgium has gradually been have been building, and Italy has been impressive guys. They have been impressive throughout the probably last 4 or 5 games. They are winning their games. They are building well, and they are okay. Let's say your prediction for that game, because I don't think De Bruyne is playing because the man just came back from injury. So he's not playing. Doku has withdrew because he has a knock. He's not playing for Belgium. So many players are withdrawing from this international break. But shut up. Let's get your prediction before we move over to
I'm
South
liking
America.
the trend, and I hope it continues. And I'm seeing Italy winning this match.
Italy to win this game. What do you think?
It's still going to be a draw.
Yeah, Joe, the last time they played was
Last time
draw.
they played a 2-2 draw.
We shall
It's still going
see.
to be a draw.
Okay, let's move over to South America. There are games happening today by 10 p.m. It's Venezuela versus Brazil by 12:30 midnight. 12:30 a.m. in the morning is Paraguay versus Argentina. Okay, let's talk about the Venezuela Brazil a little bit, because the guy that's supposed to win the Ballon d'Or, everybody was thinking that win, but Vini did not win. But the problem is when he goes to Brazil, he has scored 5 goals. Since 3 years or 4 years he has been playing. He has not been scoring for Brazil. He's supposed to be the face of the next phase of Nigeria. Next phase of the Brazilian national team. But what is happening when he goes to Brazil? He's not actually performing well. Do you think it's down to talents they have? Because if you look at the talents Brazil have now, they have less talent in their team.
You have players who are overhyped in the Premier League. I think they let the hype get into them. They let the hype get into their heads, and they don't keep up that performance. And maybe they are playing safe, so they don't get injured. They don't pick up knocks in international breaks. But I feel like for the Brazilian national team, the Bruno Guimaraes, the Paquetas, the Nunes that plays for Fatima Wanderers, all of these players are good. All of these players are good in their rights, but it's not the quality we used to see.
Normal.
In the Brazilian fold, then in Brazil now you have a Rodrigo for Real Madrid and a Vinicius Junior up front. It's not this team we used to see. A Richarlison that would miss a sitter.
Okay,
These are the people you have in Brazil now. What is there to brag about? So this is not the Brazil we used to know. This is not the Brazil we used to see. And I feel like it's a whole lot of load on Vini and Rodrigo.
John, what's your prediction for this game? Who wins?
Brazil wins, and Brazil needs to go back to recruiting home talent rather than relying on teams in Europe.
They still have home
I
talent.
think so. Okay, John, what do you make of Paraguay and Argentina? They are playing today.
Argentina winning it 2-1.
Winning. When it comes to Argentina, they have one of the most stable team in the whole. When it comes to national team, it's like Spain. I think Spain 5 years they had the best squad in the whole world in space of 5 or 6 years when they won the back-to-back titles. Now it's time for Argentina. They won the
World Cup
and two Nations Cup.
Copa
So
America, yeah.
it's good for them. So today by 12:30 a.m. they are playing today. Prediction for your Argentina game Paraguay game
1-1.
1-1. John
2-1.
Paraguay is
In fact 2-0.
2-0 for Argentina. Okay, tomorrow we are going to come back here 8 a.m. to preview all these games. By this time tomorrow, all these games have been played. We're going to sit down and analyze what happened in these games. My name is Godwin, and have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh!